Hi, and welcome back to the Carousel Show, where we'll leave the light on for you.
Ta-da!
Or maybe that's somebody else. Anyway,
Isn't that Motel 6?
yeah.
Which we
Now,
did not stay in.
Um, you don't want to even know. You don't even want to know what I had for an original intro.
Okay.
But anyway, we went to Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Sevierville, Knoxville for about 3 days.
Got in Thursday and we flew out Sunday.
Yep.
Excuse me.
I originally wanted to do this divided up by day, but because the first and third day would barely be 15 minutes long.
We're just going to combine it.
It's Kay's
together.
choice. Remember, Kay, it's your choice.
Yes, that's fine.
That we're going to probably do about a 45 to hour long podcast.
I don't think it'll be that long. Anyway, let's get started and see
So
what
anyway,
happens.
we flew into Knoxville. Flew on American. Not to sound uppity, I guess. I don't know.
No, it was American Eagle. It was a small plane. Everybody had to wear face masks. Whoops. What happened?
No, it's okay. It's still recording.
Okay.
It just...
Did something. Anyway.
I'm taking files off my computer while we're recording this.
Okay. So anyway, we flew in. American makes everyone wear a face mask.
Mm-hmm.
So we were fine with that.
So anyway, then we land and...
We get a rental car.
A blessing in disguise is that, okay, we hate cigarette smoke.
I'm allergic to it. So
And I just don't like
it. Yeah.
So we originally got a... What car does it say?
Nissan Sentra.
It says Hyundai Elantra.
Or a Nissan. We got a Nissan Sentra. It was...
And it stunk like... It stunk like...
cigarette smoke that they tried to cover up with a flowery fragrance.
I was gonna say it smelled like the Las Vegas Strip.
Mm.
So we were able to get upgraded to another car, and this one gladly had EcoBoost, which saved us significantly in terms of gas mileage.
Yep, we got about 40 miles per gallon averaged.
So anyway, we've flown into Knoxville before, so we drove Sevierville. Thank you, NASCAR Speed Park, for not being open.
They're going to open in July.
You were open, but the coaster wasn't. So thanks.
They can't help it.
You know, that coaster was closed the last time I went, in like 2015.
Maybe we're going too early in this season. Stop. Just move on.
We went in August last time.
Okay, so what we did is we drove to the hotel. We got an early check-in.
And then we drove to Gatlinburg. We parked at Ober Gatlinburg. Now, people, please, do not make the same mistake we did on our first day. Do not be one of those people that are like, oh, I can just park and go from attraction to attraction. That'll save me money. No. Find a parking garage, park there, you'll save money.
We paid a little bit less than Ober.
Ober Gatlinburg, $10 to park.
Well, it was an all-day parking, which we needed a good few hours.
But in the parking garage, it was only like $8 maximum.
Yeah, but we didn't figure on that right away. Anyway,
Ober Gatlinburg's coaster was closed, so then we walked to...
Anarchista? Or no, you did Earthquake.
Yeah.
Earthquake the Ride.
In the Loop has mentioned Earthquake the Ride probably about as much as they've mentioned... probably almost as much as Legend has mentioned alcohol/moonshine/Molly. What, I can't say his girlfriend's name?
Come on.
But they were also like, oh man, the Jurassic Jungle boat ride is so awesome, you have to do it.
Earthquake the Ride.
Yeah, where was that beeping
you
coming
liked
from?
Better.
I heard beeping. I don't know why.
Just concentrate, please. You liked Earthquake the Ride better.
Yes. Now, one thing I will say is that man, that line just didn't move.
In either of them.
Yeah, that line didn't move, and man, I understand shy people, but man, those people didn't say a syllable to me.
Nope, they were just looking.
I guess they're racist against people with glasses or something.
That word to say.
What?
Let's not talk that word right now.
Okay, I guess they were prejudiced.
Not a good word.
Anyway, the attraction, I don't want to spoil it, but, it kind of combines the earthquake attraction, confrontation, if I were to guess, and maybe even parts of Twister, along with, I don't know, Willard? That movie about the rats?
I don't know. I didn't go on it.
One thing that
You did.
Yeah, one thing that I thought was pretty funny is that I'm assuming there's a statue of a guy, like, smoking on the ride, but for some reason, he's not, like, sitting upright. He's kind of, like, laying on his back with his legs, with his feet kind of like this. Still doing that, and I'm like, is he vaping? Like, what?
Who knows? Who knows? And
It appears to be very popular in Pigeon Forge, because, man... Oh, but yeah, it's a wonderful attraction. And it was open, thankfully. It was the first ride I've ridden this year.
Wow.
After that, we walked and walked and walked and walked and walked.
Well, one reason was because
the trolleys were at half capacity.
Right.
So as opposed to having more trolleys, they just had They just had less people on the trolleys, which were terrible. But fortunately, because of what's going on now, they're waiving fees.
Right, so you're not paying to use the trolley right now.
So I guess that's good. We did tip them, though, right?
Yes.
So, something that was kind of funny was we just enjoyed, like, walking along the Gatlinburg Strip and, like, looking at all of the weird food places and gift shops.
And it was crowded already. I think Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge.
No, we'll get to crowded later. We'll get to crowded later.
We're all the first to, like, open up.
We'll get to crowded later.
Okay.
So then, there was the Rowdy Bear Mountain, which I think had 2 coasters.
We did get a shuttle or a trolley close to that.
So, first was the Alpine Coaster, which was pretty fun. And then there was my first suspended Alpine Coaster, which I don't think our CDB counts that as a coaster. And I'm like, it should. It pretty much is.
Yeah. So you're in zipline gear and you're
just swinging like, oh, wow, I white-knuckled it.
Well, especially in one part, you were going, whoa, whoa, whoa.
And there's one section where you're going like maybe 20 or so miles an hour over, and you're like 30 feet above the ground, and right under you is a gas station.
Land on the roof.
I was a little scared. After that, then we walked and walked and walked.
Well, no, we went
and walked.
We tried to get the trolley to go back. And the one lady says, oh, I am full, going this way to the visitor center. And then when she came back, she was full again. And she says, there's another trolley headed back. And I'm like, yeah, right.
Oh, I really wish...
So then we walked towards Anakista.
I wish I remember the name. I wish I remembered the name of that hotel. But that hotel employee or owner or manager was kind enough to let me go in and make a couple of phone calls because it was much quieter in there than it was outside.
Right. A lot of the motels were not allowing visitors and hotels.
Spoiler alert, Anakista's coaster was closed the entire time we were there.
Yep.
But, I guess on the positive, another thing that In the Loop has mentioned a lot, and no, not spaghetti ice cream, that unfortunately closed down, was Mellow Mushroom Pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Raise your hand if you're gluten-free. Raise your hand if you were thinking about eating there, but then thought, it's kind of pricey.
I did.
Raise your hand if you're going to do a review of it right now. Oh, okay, go ahead.
What? Okay, so it was getting late. We were hungry. We were hot. We wanted to sit down.
I don't think it was late. It was like 3 p.m. or something. We hadn't had breakfast. Well, we did.
Kinda you did. So, we decided to go to Mellow Mushroom. Went in, had to go up the tall stairs.
It wasn't like they were see-through, and you didn't really complain.
No, but I mean, it was a good hike to the second level. We sat down.
The worst part was we had to eat outside, kind of.
Well, they had the shades open,
Mm-hmm.
the window coverings. So it was kind of hot outside.
Don't worry, people, we are going to talk about coasters.
Not real hot. But we had a waiter, and he took our drink order. He came back.
She had root beer, right?
Root beer, right.
I had water.
Yeah. And then we placed our order, and we're waiting. And waiting, and waiting, and waiting, and waiting.
Edit yourself. Just get to what we ate.
Okay. We had cheese and sausage.
Small.
Well, gluten-free really only come one size. It's about 8 to 10 inches, dinner-sized plate. And then I ordered a gluten-free brownie for dessert, too.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, folks, yours is up next. And I'm like, you're just going to start baking it now? You should have an oven that is kind of huge.
Was that what they were doing or no?
I don't know. Because
Okay.
it still took a while yet to get our pizza.
I drank some ranch.
And the waiter really was not... I mean, there were a lot of waiters, but a lot of them sat down and took a break with, like, their supervisor or something. And it was very tutorial that only our waiter is supposed to bring us straws. And, I mean, the pizza was good. I enjoyed it. It was very crispy, crunchy crust. But the waitstaff was... Something just caught my feet. The waitstaff was not the best. So
Anyway, I just kind of wanted you to review the food, but... You've just been talking for about 4 or 5 minutes on food.
Well, they weren't even crowded upstairs. The bar was more crowded than the restaurant part. So I couldn't understand why it was taking so long to get a pizza.
So anyway, then we went back... So then we drove back to the...
Itchy.
Oh no, we did something else in Pigeon Forge.
What?
Crave course.
That was in Pigeon Forge?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was on the strip. We drove past like 3 times.
Where was it located? It had an indoor and an outdoor.
Yeah, it was right next to the go-kart track.
Yeah, I know that, but where? Where in Pigeon Forge? Because I only remember all the shops and Ripley's. Oh my God, there's 5 or 6 Ripley's.
You're thinking
there.
of Gatlinburg still.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we were headed back towards the hotel.
It was across from that, like, Dollar Tree or Dollar General.
We did get a trolley that could take us as far as it could to get us towards Ober to pick up the vehicle.
I don't think we ever found out if it's Uber or Uber, whatever.
Ober.
So anyway, we did crave...
Yeah.
Let's get to it. We did crave course, indoor and outdoor mini golfs, because I found a coupon that gave us like $3 off the cost.
Buy one, get one or something.
And this one, kudos to them for having Rocket Fizz soda. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we also, at Rowdy Bear Mountain, we had this soda. What was it? It was like strawberry rhubarb. That is delicious.
It was kind of sweet, but I knew what to expect. You didn't ever try strawberry rhubarb pie?
I don't think I've ever had rhubarb in my life.
Yeah, rhubarb is a stalk root.
So anyway, this place is kind of cool. Like it's obviously candy themed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, spin a wheel at each hole.
Yeah, so it's like roulette. Which includes some of the things that we had to do was like you had to golf on one leg, you had to golf
Right
only
leg,
using one
left
hand.
leg.
You had to
spin
spin
around
5 times and then do it.
One eye or blank, close your eyes.
Both eyes closed.
Yes.
Another one was you had to like do it backwards.
Oh, and take 2 steps forward. Oh, and a hole in one.
But then there was one that we skipped because you were like, no, I'm not doing that one.
No, with my bad knees, I was not getting on
you
my
had
knees.
you had to get down on your knees and then golf. And
no.
yeah, she kicked my butt in both rounds.
Well, the first round was pretty close. That was the outside. The inside was very crowded.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't even
We
start.
just did it out of order.
Yeah, we didn't start at hole 1. We did like 11 through. We didn't do
11
the last
through
one.
18.
We didn't do the last one.
Yeah,
so.
because we'd give up our ball.
Yeah.
Oh, they also like at the top.
Or 1 shot free was 1 too, wasn't it? Because we got 1 less shot.
Oh yeah, take off 1 shot. That happened several times.
And if you landed on candy on this roulette, then you marked it down. If you would have got 19 candies, you would have got a game free.
But I think they were
we
also
had 20 candies between the 2 games.
They were also like doing like they were also spraying candy air kind of.
I don't remember.
Candy scents because you were like, it smells like candy.
Yeah, the whole indoors smelled like candy.
No, I was talking about the outdoors.
Yes, I know you were.
So then we went to the room, ate, and fell asleep.
We ate dinner?
Didn't we? We had like chips and dip. Tuna.
Oh, that was the first night?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was, we were going to go eat at Paula Dean's.
You finished the chips.
I know, but we were going to eat at Paula Dean's, but it was 2.5-hour wait. And then the other food place that was there was 1 hour 45 minutes. And then
Spoiler!
The other food place, this is all the same night.
No, this was another night.
The second night?
Yes.
Oh. What did we have for dinner that night then? We had tuna?
We
No.
had tuna and crackers.
I thought that was the next night. Oh, the next night we had ice cream, popcorn. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Oh, we were tired.
Evidently, you were a little more tired than me, and you still are.
I'm still feeling it.
You're still on
feeling
vacation
tired.
mode.
No, I'm trying to wake up to work. I did work 8 hours today.
Finally, the thing you've probably wanted to hear about. More than a 5-minute talk on Mellow Mushroom's food services is Dollywood.
Yes.
This was my second time to Dollywood, and there are some things that are different from how people tend to talk about them, but
You better make a reservation. Go online and double check.
Yep.
We had free tickets that we acquired
in January. Thank you, Wes, and thank you, Ace.
Yeah.
So anyway, I made sure that we got there like 2 hours early. Dollywood.
2 hours. We were there before some employees. Oh my God.
Dollywood tends to use the honor system based on parking lots because they didn't have their parking lot completely closed. So technically, we could have parked anywhere and not paid. We did pay. We paid for preferred. Don't worry, people.
Yeah. And I'm glad we paid for preferred. It was only $5 extra, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
I was like, you want to do valet?
It really puts you a lot closer.
Mm-hmm. Literally just like a walk down and you're there, which feels twice as long when it's the end of the day.
And you're walking up that hill.
Okay, let's get into the negatives first. Dollywood, when they opened,
Negatives.
After about a 15-minute wait, pretty good sized line all throughout Jukebox Junction. They say, hey, lightning rod's not open. Sorry, bye.
Even though they had a crew show up, even though they had a train on the track.
I didn't see the train. I also didn't hear. Also, allegedly they did test runs, but there was no evidence of that. There was no evidence that the ride was even turned on or anything.
Yeah, there was a family from Florida that his daughter and son really wanted to ride it, and
I did too.
And it hasn't been open. It wasn't open for 3 days for them.
So with that done, then we decided to do something. Well, we decided to go do something that I didn't do the first time, but I made up for it this time. In that we got cinnamon bread. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Bow, 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 bow.
Just take your word for it.
It is really good. It's like a cinnamon roll bread. A cinnamon roll loaf of bread.
Well, it's cinnamon swirl bread, so yeah.
No, but it also had like icing and stuff on the bottom.
That has it. No, the icing wasn't on the bottom.
No, there was icing.
It was like there's sugar, brown sugar, and that
syrup on the bottom.
Yes, from cooking, baking.
We also got 2 water bottles. It was a very warm day.
Yeah. 2 for $5 special.
Then we went by the Eagles. I don't think the bald eagle was out though. Was it?
It was.
I don't think so.
It was at that end.
There was a bald eagle cage that didn't have a bald eagle in it.
I thought I saw a bald eagle. Maybe not.
You might have seen eagles.
Eagles, yeah.
Glenn Fry and somebody else. Glenn Fry and the Lord of the Rings and Hobbits.
So they have...
The eagles appear at the end of the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit movies.
Okay. I don't watch them. So they had Birds of Prey exhibit, and they were all in their little... What do you want to call them? Cages? Not cages, because they could fly around.
Areas.
Yeah. In their rooms.
So anyway, then came part 1 of Kay's 2-part coaster adventures with Blazing Fury. Why don't you describe Blazing Fury? I'd already been on this ride, but I think Kay should tell you what she thought of Blazing Fury.
You told me if it was going to be lit, we weren't going down. If it was going to be dark, we were going to probably go down. So I kept asking, because there were a lot of dark spots that you didn't do anything. Are we dropping? Are we going down? So
that's your review?
It wasn't as bad because you kind of explained it like Journey to the Center of the Earth and
Tokyo Disney Seas.
Which I think was tougher than what this ride was.
I mean, well, first of all, you could sit regularly on this ride.
Yeah. My carpal tunnel and my knee surgery. Yeah.
But bad news is that the dude no longer pees blue light. Bring back the blue light pee. That's what I'm going to call this episode. Bring back the blue light pee.
Okay.
Like that scene of the dude in the outhouse. Originally, the door opened and then like a stream, or then like a blue light appeared, so it almost looked, so he was peeing.
Wouldn't you think it would be yellow light? I don't know.
No, that'd be gross.
Okay. Shh.
Blue is for everybody.
Move on.
After that, then I did Tennessee Tornado again. It's fine. It's very short. And some of the loops...
wasn't it?
No, it wasn't really rough, but some of the loops were kind of weird. Like, instead of like a loop like this, like... The track almost kind of went like this.
Was it loop though?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it feels very short. That was the first ride that handed out Purell. And with the 6 feet social distancing, yeah, at that park, that was really just for show. Almost no one followed it.
I did.
Almost nobody followed it.
People in front of us did.
Not really. Okay, so after this, then it was starting to rain. Or
Already?
was it starting to sprinkle or something?
It
Or?
was sprinkling off and on since we had gotten there.
So it's time to mention another. It's time to mention part 2. This was your second time riding it. This was my second time riding it. What is that?
It wasn't any better.
What was that ride called?
Fire or Storm Chaser or something. I don't know. Wasn't it?
What was the name of it?
Wasn't it Fire Chaser? Storm Chaser.
What was the name of it?
I don't care. I don't really want to remember.
I'm having more fun with
I will
this
not
part.
ride it again, folks. No, I'm sorry.
Fire Chaser Express.
I will not. It was the same experience as the first time.
I thought you said it was better.
It didn't get much better.
You said
no,
it was better.
I still was frightened. Oh, he's like, oh, you rode this before. You can handle it. Well, I ain't listening to you anymore. Gosh.
Yeah, you can handle this ride a quick draw at Frontier City.
No.
It's a shooting interactive dark ride.
Okay, as long as it doesn't do what that one did.
You can also handle Den of Lost Thieves at Indiana Beach.
Maybe.
Maybe Dr. Frankenstein's Haunted House or something. I think that's what it's called.
I don't know. Anyway.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty fun.
I was hanging on for dear life.
Really, I couldn't tell by how you were pretty much cutting off my arm circulation.
Well, they had, okay, you had the restraint right here.
The lap bar, yeah, they can't see, but okay.
And then further down, which would have been leaning me forward, was what you could hang on to. So here I am trying to hang on to my side and his side. He put his arm there, so I grabbed his arm.
Yeah, because I was thinking you were going to do like this.
No.
No, instead you did this. Which was more painful.
Sorry. You wanted me to ride it again. You have to deal with it.
I also think you shouldn't have been like, oh my god, we're going up. That means we're going to drop all that way. Beep, 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 beep.
I didn't say it that much.
Well, it only made sense. I cussed the first time at Dollywood. It's only fair you cuss this time at Dollywood.
Sorry, folks.
You also cussed at Holiday World, but anyway. Oh,
then
this
going
was...
backwards?
How did you... You didn't remember that?
I pretty much kept my eyes closed.
No, because you were like, we're so high up! Or we're gonna drop!
The first time we rode it, we were in the last seat.
I thought we were in the front.
No, we were in the last seat, so then going backwards, we were the first seat.
This time we were in the middle.
As much as we could be. Second car, I think it was.
Second or third car.
Because it was every other car.
Mm-hmm. This was also when we ran into In the Loop fans.
Oh, yeah.
They were from Cincinnati. What video were they talking about again?
The one that they did on, was it on Dollywood or just Pigeon Forge?
It might have been the various tourist attractions in Pigeon Forge. So, Legend, Drew, Hyde, Ranger, Other. You guys have a following in
Ohio,
Cincinnati. So next time, drive around Cincinnati and just film some weird stuff.
Or don't.
Or do. I find those more entertaining sometimes.
Well, that's what the daughter said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the mom was not going on Fire Chaser, but the daughter was. And I'm like, why don't you go with the daughter?
Yeah. Me riding with some young girl I've never met before today during COVID. Oh, what can go wrong here? I'll only be arrested.
Why would you be arrested? Don't even say that. Jeez. Anyway,
Because we'd
let's
be
move
riding
on.
in the same car.
Let's move on.
Okay, so with Lightning Rod closed, I was like, well, at least there's hopefully 3 coasters I can go on, like Mystery Mine.
Da, 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 da.
Mystery Mine? You can't tell, but for about Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, for about 5 days, I did a liquid diet where I drank 1.5 gallons of water a day to
protein shakes, chocolate milk, juice,
a sip of Pepsi here and there or Coke to get rid of a headache. Hoping that I would be thin enough to fit on Mystery Mine. So I did the test seat, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
It was close.
And then Kay did like a push, and it worked. Mm-hmm. So I was like,
here we go, in line. We're going to try it.
Non-religious people, I'm going to put up my finger I'm going to put up this finger while I say stuff. And when I put it down, that's when you can like either unmute it or listen again if you don't want to hear my religious opinions. So, starting now. Okay, I made a promise to God that if I was able to fit on Mystery Mine or Lightning Rod, because there were rumors that it was going to reopen, and I was thinking, well, if I can fit on Lightning Rod, but I can't fit on Mystery Mine, that's a fair deal. If I can fit on Mystery Mine, but not Lightning Rod, that's a fair deal, I guess. So I said to God, if I can fit on Mystery Mine, I will eat 2 pieces of lettuce, and I hate lettuce, from Kay's salad at Paula Deen's, and I will not mention something that we've done a podcast about. You still have to get me there, I will just never mention it again.
Okay.
Or anything that happened that day.
Okay.
So,
excuse me.
I was able to fit on Mystery Mine, thankfully.
Well, I kept telling you, be positive, be positive, be positive.
This is going to seem like this is going to be one of the meanest things I'm ever going to say, but we looked at some people that were around the same size as me, or maybe a little bit bigger.
Well, one guy, he was about the same size as you, and they couldn't get his restraint down.
Yeah, but we noticed that there's 4 seats. Here's the queue line where you walk in. This seat in the front
seems to be where everybody that was large was sitting.
Everyone was fitting. So,
but you weren't in the first row. You were in the second row?
Yes, I was.
The first row, okay. Because they didn't fill each row.
Actually, they filled based on your group size.
Yeah.
So if you're a group of 8, fine. If
you were a group of 8, they put you the last 2 rows.
If you were there were only 2 rows.
No, there weren't.
Yeah, there were. 4 and then 4.
Oh. I thought it was like 4 rows of 4.
No.
Okay.
That's later models. Those are infinity coasters. So anyway, I was saying like, come on, please let me be able to fit on it. So I pushed it down, and I was like, am I good? They were like, yeah, you're fine. Okay, go. And I'm like, oh, thank you. In all of this, I had kind of forgotten that I had left my glasses on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Dollywood says it goes back and forth between ride, I guess. But I remember seeing a video where they said you didn't need to wear the mask on the ride, but then on other rides they said you had to wear the mask on the ride. So I think I had like not worn the mask on the ride because I was worried it was just I'm going at like 40, 50, 60, 70 miles an hour. That should be keep me healthy enough. Sorry. But I was able to fit on the ride, and then when I got back in line, usually, should I say what I usually do?
You shake their hands or say thank you.
Or I hug them, regardless of if they're male or female, just to show my level of thanks and appreciation. Spoiler alert, you can't really do that nowadays, so
Nope.
put your hand like this. So I was with Kay. No, I only did one. So I was with Kay, and I was like, so what I did to the employee was like, can we shoe shake? So imagine this is their shoe, and then I was like this, and I was like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, because I was thinking, well, their shoes. I don't think shoes can get it, so they might be okay. And then with the ride operator, um, I didn't. I still hugged, but I did like a social distance hug, like, and we were even further away. So I was like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And afterwards, when I was able to fit on it, I finished the cinnamon bread.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's when we went into Wildwood Grove.
Mm-hmm.
Where I wanted to do Bear or Black Bear Trail or Grizzly on the Go, I guess.
But I was looking at the sky and it looked like it was getting dark, that it could rain.
Or Bear on the Trail or whatever it's called.
So you went over to the
Dragonflyer.
Dragonflyer.
So we got in line and then it rained, and so we were like, well, let's find shade. But we were.
Find covering.
Yeah.
With social distancing.
It would have been great if Dollywood opened that indoor play area.
Yeah. Well, no, they wouldn't have opened it now.
Part of me just wanted to ask an employee, can you open the door so I can just look inside it? But yeah, I couldn't even get like to the front of the door just to look at what that place was. About a half an hour later, it finally cleared up, so I got to be in the first seat on Dragonflyer.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty fun Vekoma.
They said when they first closed it, they said that there was lightning within 10 miles. And then we did see lightning very close to us. And then they said it was 5 miles. So then they finally opened the park again.
Oh, two more quick things. One, it was Mystery Mine was kind of like Silver Star with me, where I was just so happy that I got to fit on the ride. I was more focused on saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, than noticing what the ride was about, because I had never seen a POV. There's a lot of surprises in the ride. It goes upside down. There's explosions. It's a pretty fun ride. For years, I've said that the ride needs lap bars to allow people like me to ride it. Since I rode it, I could care less now. And if you're wondering, on that trip, no, I did not do the Wild Eagle.
Mm-mm. Was it open? Or it did finally
It opened
open?
later, but I probably could have fit on that ride better this time, but no, I didn't ride it.
Okay.
By the time it was open, we were a distance
Well,
away.
weren't we going back towards Lightning?
We were going towards Thunderhead, to near the front of the park.
Okay. You did Thunderhead, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes.
So I did Dragonflyer. Then we.
A lot of walking again.
Yeah. Then we walked. There was what is that ride called?
I don't know.
Oh God.
Did you ride it?
Yeah, it was the kids coaster. Choo Choo.
Oh, no. Silver. No, something.
Not Quicksilver Express.
It was something like that.
Oh God. It's themed to a train, I think.
But anyway.
I didn't fit on it the first time.
Or second time.
But don't ask me how I was able to fit on it the third time.
Yay.
It's okay. Pretty fun.
That's when we saw people from
Coaster Crew.
Coaster
Well,
Crew.
that's when you saw them.
Yep.
Because I was either in line or I was on Thunderhead.
You were on Thunderhead, yes.
Okay. Thunderhead is still pretty fun. I might say Troy is a better ride. But I'm the only person on our trip, and probably, yeah, the only person on our trip that thought Troy was better than George and the Dragon. Maybe it's because I'd seen a POV of Troy, and I was like, man, that looks awesome, and maybe that influenced me.
Okay, maybe.
Or maybe it's because George and the Dragon had 2 trains, while Troy only had 1, so maybe that was part of the reason.
Okay, next time if we're going to talk this long, we have to sit.
You wanted to combine them.
I know, my back is starting to hurt.
So anyway, then after Thunderhead, then we walked down to the entrance, and we got to look at a bunch of the joke tombstones. Yeah, that's what it was.
Pretty much like what
Great America does for Fright Fest.
Yeah.
And I kept telling Kay, it's like in 2004, it was just Thunderhead, and there was this long walk to the entrance. That's all there was up there.
Now it's filled in a little bit.
Yeah, now the park is a complete loop.
But there is still some parts that they can still build on.
They probably have like hundreds of acres of land.
Maybe.
Okay, so then we got back to the entrance. What was left?
You checked on Lightning Rod. We took some pictures.
There was no chance of Lightning Rod opening, sadly.
Yeah. We took some pictures.
Did we do anything else?
No, because we were headed to...
We were going to do the train, but it was like a half an hour wait. So Kay was like, I don't have to do the train.
It's okay, I didn't have to.
So then we left. Then we did the Rocky Top Mountain Coaster. Because we saw that on the way. It's fine. I still think the Rowdy Bear ones are better.
Okay.
But this one was fine. Then after that, then we went to the other Rowdy Bear. And
before Paula Dean's?
Yeah.
Okay.
We tried calling them. Or, no! Then we went to Beyond the Lens Beyond the Lens Interaction Museum thing.
Yeah, and then we stayed parked there to go to the other one.
This is a weird museum, I guess.
Yeah.
I did the 6 degrees of separation characters. Like, I think I did, Taylor Swift and Charlie Chaplin. They were able to do it. I have pictures of me being swallowed by alien eggs. Both of us broke the internet.
Answering questions about...
celebrities.
Gossip and that. I didn't even do well. I'm like, phew.
We did word searches.
We sat down and watched the Thinking of the JFK assassination.
No, JFK conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Odd.
And then a little bit about Princess Di.
And and then we saw the Michael Jackson one about like the shape of his nose over the years.
Oh my God! Yeah, they had them all lined up.
Let's see, what else did we do? We kind of did a realistic video game, I guess, where we had like these like softballs that you kind of had at school when you were playing like dodgeball, and you had to throw them
and hit the
Had a screw-
circles or
Yeah.
rectangles.
Yeah, that guy kicked
Rounded.
our tail.
Yeah. Well, I kept I wanted to throw, and he would throw, and the ball would come right at me. It's
I
like
think I hit a
reverse dodgeball.
few. I hit a few.
Yes, I think I only hit a couple.
I said it was like dodgeball.
I know,
Or, yeah,
but it was
ball.
like reverse dodgeball. He'd hit, and it came flying at me. I'm like, no, it should only be 2 people in there.
Kay, you got to be in a Barbie
Toy box.
toy box.
So
and then-
I had my thing on, so I was like, COVID.
Then there was one where
G.I. Joe.
I got to do G.I. Joe. We put our hands on the screen to make it look like we put our hands into concrete, and then we signed it.
And we signed it. Yeah.
What else? Oh, I made a virtual coaster using my finger. It was reminiscent of the no one is going to know what I'm talking about because everyone is younger than me, but it was reminiscent of like Disney Quest Cyberspace Mountain with Bill Nye the Coaster Guy.
Yeah, I remember you building the coaster at Disney Quest, and I rode it with you, and I was just about sick. You did a lot of
loops.
Oh, jeez.
That means I built it correctly, people.
To get me sick? Yeah. Woo! Yay!
Was there anything else?
I was freaking out in the beginning.
Oh, yeah. Because it was all glass.
Even though it was like glass mirror.
Yeah, it was all glass mirror.
I still had the feeling that, I could see far way down. I just have that phobia. I don't know what it is.
She needed my help, and there was a time when I let her go, and she was like, Justin, you'd better get back here.
Justin, help. Yeah. I can't, like on water rides and that, where the steps have
water
the
slides.
Okay, water slides, rides. But
don't offend a ranger.
The steps have holes in them where you could see the ground. Oh, I have a hard time with that.
Was that the end of it, or was there another part?
Well, as you walked in, you were like waving to everyone taking your picture.
Oh, that was awesome! That's
like, hi, woo, ah.
Oh, please, I totally deserve this, but thank you. Let's see, what else?
Some of the things we would
there
have
was stuff about the presidents.
Probably been like took our more time at it, but a lot of people were doing like the Elvis quiz and the other stuff, so it was didn't want to spend over an hour there.
And we probably did because of me, because I just like laid down in that ball pit.
Well, what about the money? All the money?
Oh,
in the safe?
And I think that's the first time I've taken a picture of you on the toilet.
Oh yeah, in the outhouse. Yeah, interesting.
And I got my picture with Sasquatch, so...
Yep.
Photographic evidence Sasquatch exists.
Yep. So thanks, Legend, for discussing that. We did it.
I don't want to necessarily do that Museum of the Weird Magic show. Or the Museum of Illusions, I think. But next time we go, you'll do the Titanic.
I didn't care about it one way or the other. So anyway...
After that, then we did Rowdy Bear.
Right, we were going to try to drive to it, but we would have had to have driven out, done a Yui somewhere, come back. So I'm like, nope, we already paid
and this was at like 6 p.m., so take a guess what the traffic was like.
Oh, it was heavy. So we just
This
went
is when
back.
You get to say the crowd word.
It was crowded. We went back to Behind the Lens. I'm like, we were already patrons. We're going to park here. And then we walked, which was just
Plus it was free
over.
It was free parking, so what? Would we had to have paid $5? I don't know.
Well, we had our receipt that we were in there.
And we
so
walked
what did they do?
walked across from this, like, theater.
Right.
I don't remember it.
Civil War Theater or something.
Civil War Theater. Pick a side. North.
Yep.
You too?
Yep, we live in the north. Abraham Lincoln.
Mm-hmm. Well, that and we want to be on the good side.
Yep.
Or the
Justin?
The free side, I should say.
Yes. Anyway, so we went there.
So I rode the I rode the Rowdy Bear coaster. It was okay, it was pretty fun. We were 45 days early for their second coaster, which allegedly is going to be gasoline powered.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You're going to go faster.
Should we even talk about the island of Pigeon Forge?
Oh my God.
We went there.
Traffic.
Hour plus.
Get there.
Hour plus waits for
2
for
hours.
everything.
2.5 at Paula Dean's.
Oh.
She said there were 100 people ahead of us.
Yeah, Dick's Last Resort, they weren't even taking people, and they closed in like 2 or 3 hours. What was the Woodfire Grill?
Yes.
That was also like an hour and a half wait at minimum. And so we just went back to the room. I think I asked someone like, does Papa John's deliver? And they were like, it's an hour and a half wait.
Yeah.
So we're like,
okay.
Let's just go to the room.
Yep. So I bought a Hot Pocket for you.
Mm-hmm.
Klondike bar.
And popcorn.
But did I eat something else?
You ate more of the chips.
Oh, the crackers?
Mm-hmm.
Crackers and cheese.
And that was the argument heard round the world. And we're not going to get into that.
Okay. So now here we are.
On day 3.
Saturday. Woohoo! Trying to finish up what we didn't do before.
Mm-hmm.
Or what
Saturday,
you didn't do.
Saturday we parked in the parking garage, the one by Ripley's.
Mm-hmm.
Much less people. And by the way, the night before, it seemed like it was very crowded because I think there was like some softball or...
People were arriving.
There was like some soccer team or something.
Baseball. It was traveling baseball or softball.
Yeah, they were called the Bat Cats, I think.
Yeah. So they were all coming in Friday night to
So it was like 5
Saturday.
teams of that, and I'm like, you know what? I hope you guys do well, just don't be in traffic.
Yeah, they filled up the hotel. The hotel was 100% that night.
Was
Friday.
it? I wonder if it was 100% occupancy or if it was like 50% occupancy because they could only fill so many rooms.
But you were in a room, so I think they could fill every room. I thought she said 100% occupancy. I don't know, maybe.
So, thankfully, most of them were at the game, which took away a lot of traffic.
But
not all of it, but a good chunk.
But still, I remembered, don't take the Parkway. We stayed on Teaster. So we took Teaster to veterans and missed a lot of Pigeon Forge traffic.
So anyway, then we parked at the parking garage, and then we walked to Obergatlinburg. We decided to call first. Smart idea.
Yep, make sure they were open.
Yeah, they were open.
No, she said to call back.
Call back. I was speeding it up.
Okay, call back in 15 minutes.
And then it reopened 14 minutes later. What are you doing? Oh. It's a 10 or 15 minute long chairlift up there, or monorail up there.
I couldn't even see you at the top, because I think you went up, and then you went
We get
further.
it, people. July 4th is coming up.
So what?
No, there's the boom. I'm assuming they're just testing fireworks.
Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, I did the coaster. That one wasn't that great, and I think it's because of how the seats are kind of designed, because I don't know how Rowdy Bear is different, but it just is. It kind of like, Rowdy Bear kind of does it like this. And I think Rocky Top as well, but Rowdy Bear tends to be like the better versions. This one was pretty much like this.
Ooh.
Or no, it was more like this.
Okay. You can let go.
And the seatbelt. That's another big thing between Rowdy Bear and the Ober-Gatlinburg one. Is that the Rowdy Bear one? It was just like a seat. It was just like a seatbelt like this, like you would find on most like roller coasters.
Okay.
This one kind of strapped you in like you were in a car. Yeah, like this.
Diagonal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that probably made the ride a little more uncomfortable to me, or maybe it was the seats. But even some employees were like, yeah, they're not that comfy. It was the first time I saw ice bumper cars. And I saw the tubing stuff where what I found out was, and this is for all YouTubers out there, you can, at least on that one, you can start off going backwards.
Because they had a few things you could do up there.
Yeah,
because they had like an all-day pass
but
for the rides up top.
What else was up there? There was a
Was there horseback riding?
I don't know.
In the winter, there was skiing.
Mm-hmm. And I think I know where it could have been. Oh, and I pointed it out to some employees and to some people that you go to like some theme parks that, I don't know, let's just say they have a number of flags in them. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Those ride signs are kind of generic where they just say the name and then that's it. At Ober-Gatlinburg, they had this bear cardboard cutout with every single sign. Kind of like stand like this, like.
Well,
and I was like, awesome!
Everywhere you went, they were collecting money for the black bear, brown bear, whatever, the bears.
And apparently that area was where there was like a fire in like 2010 or 2012.
Oh wow!
I didn't remember that. We took the ride back down. It was pretty cool. Yeah, well, okay, I did.
I did one of those up in Banff. Oh my god.
I
was with a friend who was Japanese, and she kept going back and forth all sides taking pictures, and it freaked me out.
This one, it would have been pretty tough for it to be rocking. It's kind of like it's like a suspended monorail.
Right. The one that I took in Banff was probably a 4-person enclosed one.
And so I did like a few things like, Kay, which would you rather do? Would you rather go up Ober-Gatlinburg with that enclosed thing, or would you rather do the chairlift?
I think I would rather do Ober-Gatlinburg.
You didn't make up your mind. I said, maybe.
I just did.
Oh, well, I think you might be okay with the chairlift one because there weren't many places to sit on those in those cable cars.
Maybe 4 seats or something.
Mm-hmm.
I would plead with somebody to sit down.
Then as we were walking back, we completely skipped Anarchista because they said that it wouldn't be operating. So were we just walking back to our car?
I think so.
Yeah. We go by this cookie shop.
Mm-hmm.
And Kay says, Justin, you want to go in? I'm like, okay, they have free samples.
Why not?
She criticized me for getting free samples the day before because she didn't
barbecue sauce.
She didn't like pineapple pecan sauce.
Dipping sauce or whatever. Yeah.
That was the only one that was gluten-free, and it didn't have tomato, so you could have had it. So this place has two gluten-free cookies, and one of them were like key lime coolers, and the other one were chocolate chips.
Right, so we tried them both. Chocolate chip, I can make here all the time, but key lime coolers. And of course, they only had the big size. They didn't have the smaller size.
And I was very vague by saying, I'm not going to say what company it is, but it's a nearby company that has like a food flavor and then monkey in the name. So, and they didn't have any gluten-free flavors.
Nothing
even ice cream?
Store. Not even the ice cream.
How can you make vanilla non-gluten-free?
It could have wheat
in
it.
So then we got back in our car. Kay was like saying, slow down. And I kept wanting to run because we were technically paying by the hour. I think we paid like what, $5?
Yeah, something like that.
So then it was time to drive and go to the Gatlinburg Mountain Coaster, which there was a delay because I said, "Okay, take us the exact same way we got here," and she took a turn and so
Well, we pulled out of the parking garage, and it had us like going straight on a different street. I couldn't get over to turn, so I just followed it, which was fine.
so anyway,
They only put us behind a little bit.
by like 15 minutes.
So what? We took
And
the
we
bypass.
saw the Davy Crockett mini golf, and then I rode the coaster, and then did we drive back or did we also look at Hillbilly mini golf? Anyway, then we drove back, and it was like, well, let's call Paula Dean. So we call Paula Dean. It says it's a 15, 20-minute wait, so it was like, okay, yes. And she thought that that lunch would be busier than dinner was on Friday, and I was like, no, because
as busy.
Okay, and I was like, no, because most of those people are going to be at Dollywood, or they're going to be seeing shows at this time, or just random stuff. And it turns out I was right.
Yes.
As you could tell by the 20 to 30-minute wait. So, yay!
So you got the coaster at...
Yeah, I rode the Spinning Parrots, and normally I'm not a big fan of the SBF Visa coasters, but, that was when I was a little heavier.
But I must say...
I'm much thinner now, so I'm able to fit in the seat better. And I think because it was just me on one end, and then it was this young girl on the other end, we didn't spin as much, so maybe that had something to do with it. But SBF Visa, can you guys kind of fix the part where you go back over on the lift hill, because those are a little jerky. Those are much jerkier than like wacky
ones. It reminded me
ones.
of a whip, sorta, how you did on a couple of the curves. You kind of whip.
And there was this kid who was very scared of this ride. But here's the thing, they're also from Cincinnati. I guess it was Ohio Day in Tennessee, or Ohio Week in Tennessee. So this kid was scared, so I told them that, like, you've ridden the Woodstock Express at Kings Island. You've ridden the Flying Ace aerial chase was Rugrats Runaway Reptar. You'll be fine on this ride. You won't be more than like 15 feet above the ground. And then by like the first lap, I was like, is it good? And he was giving the thumbs up. So yeah.
Yeah, he's having fun.
So then we went to Paula Dean's. Do you want to talk about this experience?
We were looking, Justin was looking more than I was, but looking for gluten-free options for me to be able to eat. And on their website, they say that the ribs are gluten-free.
Spare ribs.
So,
see? They say it.
Yep. So, when we sat down, I asked for a gluten-free menu. Well, that never really showed up. Then our waiter was trying to...
I don't think our waiter's memory showed up that well.
He was trying to tell me what was gluten-free. And then I inquired about the ribs. And he said, well, they have teriyaki sauce on them. And I said, okay, then they're not gluten-free.
I said, just order them without the sauce.
Right. And he says, well, it says here that they're gluten-free, without the sauce. And I said, what do you put on them? Well, Paula Deen's seasoning.
Oh, we put on wheat, gluten, and whey. We just put on the souls of dead people. Aretha Franklin's ashes, tons of stuff.
So
all gluten-free.
Thank you. I ordered the salad, which the first one came with croutons on it.
No, you should have talked about, like, the ribs.
Sweet potatoes. So I went...
So you talked to a manager, I guess.
I went and I talked to one of the managers, and I said, your website says that the ribs are gluten-free. And I said, I'm gluten-free, wheat-free, soy-free. And she said, well, if you don't get the sauce, but she said the seasoning is not gluten-free. So we went there to have me at least eat the ribs. So I ate salad, sweet potatoes, and some potatoes, mashed potatoes. And then Justin ate the ribs, which came with way too much sauce. So the second time he ordered it without sauce, and the fried chicken, and he had mac and cheese. So for dessert, I did ask, the waiter was going to ask if I could have a cup of fresh cut fruit because they do offer that at their breakfasts.
I asked.
Yeah. And
I think it's your watch.
he was going to ask, and I also mentioned that to the manager. Now, they don't get the waiter doesn't bring you your food, so they have food runners. And
in case you're wondering, I got fried chicken, ribs,
I told him that. And
mac and cheese.
Yes. So then I ordered another sweet potato. No more. I ordered another salad because when they brought the salad, I said, I can't eat that. It's got croutons on it. Well, they never took it away. I'm like,
lunch and dinner, poppy seed tossed salad, no croutons.
yes. So
Paula Deans, feel free to read your website.
So he just left the salad there, and I'm like, I can't eat it. You know, they weren't good about
So I asked,
taking things away as you finished.
should I eat that lettuce? And you said,
I didn't think you would like the dressing.
and I didn't.
So then I got a new salad. So you ordered a second rib and a second mac and cheese. So our waiter brought us those. And then the food runners also brought it out. And I'm like, whatever.
Interesting.
Oh, my neck is tight. Ugh.
Only another half hour. And by the way, you're still on Tennessee time on your watch.
Okay.
So, for dessert, I had banana pudding, and I'm glad that Kay ignored what the waiter said, and that I was able to eat it before I finished my mac and cheese.
Yes. Well, you were getting full.
Yeah. And this is one of those cases where they ask, hey, what would you like to have for dessert? Before you ask, what's for dessert?
I think it was his end of his shift or something, so he wanted to finish. But anyway, I ate enough. I had 2 bowls of sweet potatoes, 1 salad, and a bowl of mac and cheese, and then fruit.
You had mac and cheese?
Oh, not mac and cheese.
Mashed potatoes.
potatoes.
I was like, I know I offered you cheese, thinking like
Okay,
you should be okay to eat that.
That's fine.
But yeah, I was pretty full afterwards.
Yep.
Maybe we should go there for breakfast. You can have black pepper bacon.
No, I won't go to Paula Dean's anymore.
Or you can have ham. Your favorite thing on the planet.
I won't go to Paula Dean's again. Anyway.
Me neither.
So we
need to go to that Frizzle Chicken Farmhouse that had like the animatronic chickens.
Right, maybe.
Thanks,
So
Legend.
then you still had one more mountain coaster to ride.
Coaster at Goats on the Roof.
Okay. So we got out of there, and then we headed towards Goats on the Roof.
And I did find a goat.
Yep, 1 goat. I didn't see it. There was 1 goat.
I rode the coaster. This again, you know, it hurt my back as well because I'm much wider than I guess our intended audience of, I don't know,
Kids. Whatever.
people that are as thin as Hyde and Drew the Intern, like thin
Okay.
people like that.
Okay, let's move on.
And Ranger.
You fit on it,
And
so
Legend.
you did it, so...
Mm-hmm. And then we just drove. We were going to eat at Calhoun's.
Yeah. It was a long day. And it was so hot. It was 105 on Sunday, or Saturday.
At the island of Pigeon Forge, I think.
Oh my god, it
when
was
we were
hot.
walking out.
Ugh.
I was like, did we walk 20 minutes? In case you're wondering, the parking lot was less empty, so that was good.
Yeah.
We were going to eat at Sweet Frog, but we were kind of full.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I don't know if they'll have gluten-free yogurt.
So anyway, we headed back to Knoxville.
So we refueled. We didn't eat at Calhoun's. Don't
Nope.
worry. Next time, I promise.
I didn't care.
I thought
You
did.
were the one that did.
Well, I felt bad
So
that
then
you didn't
we
really get a main
still-
course.
We still had crackers left, so I bought 2 things of cheese at the mobile gas station.
And then we got
You bought salami,
we got a
wraparound
Sonic knockoff Blizzard. And
well,
then
what was funny was, I kept saying, well, we got the chips, and then you said, well, you could have bean dip, and I'm like, oh yeah, Mexican. And then I said, wow, I really could go for an ice cream from Sonic.
less than 5 minutes later.
Going down the hill.
Hey,
Whoa.
there's a Sonic.
Yep.
And I was like so tired. Like I don't even know if I fell asleep while you were driving, but I was trying to stay awake.
Mm. And it was kind of hard to find this hotel.
It wasn't hard to find the airport.
No, the airport was like
Across the street. Yeah.
But GPS and Google directions took us a lot further away.
For the rental car, yeah.
Like 4 miles away to return the rental car.
Should we talk about the hotel?
No.
Why not?
We stayed at a Courtyard by Marriott.
Should we talk
because
about...
your father is an employee. No.
Do you want to say...
No.
I didn't want to say it.
No. No.
Okay, subscribe to our... Nothing.
So we made it back. We got in early into Chicago.
Oh, not only that, but American decided to give people free drinks. So I had a cran-apple, and she had a ginger ale.
Yeah.
Man, Hyde, your voice is so smooth. It put me to sleep. Dang it.
It was quite bumpy, though.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, there was a lot of turbulence.
I was mainly listening to the podcast, being like, okay, how many parks did they go to when they visited Blackbeard's Cave? Okay, Casino Pier. And then Blackbeard's Cave. Oh, only 3. I need to tweet Roxceratops that. Anyway,
Okay.
Join us next time where, I don't know, we should probably we are going to go to Indiana Beach this year. We're planning to go to Cedar Point this year. We're planning to maybe go to the Dells this year. And maybe another trip, which that trip would probably not cost that much because, well, we get admission and parking for free and food.
Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Frontier City?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll see. We'll have to see what COVID does and what the airline prices do.
You're lucky I'm not monetized, because if I was, that would have demonetized us by saying that word.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Subscribe to me and I'll subscribe back.